Now, if you've seen my last video, you know my history with VR and why I went with the Quest 3. Not only does it have the most options for accessories, it's the best middle option out of all the VR headsets. I'm here for the immersion, and I'm here to enjoy it, so sometimes you have to spend a little bit extra on quality to really be able to do that. Now, I'm not saying sell a kidney or take a loan for a freaking VR headset, that'd be insane. But if you can afford it, the Quest 3 is definitely the best buy for the everyday consumer currently. That being said, with the Quest 3 being at that $500 price point, be prepared to spend another $400 to $500 on accessories if you really want to take it to its max. And as such, here are my top picks for the best VR accessories, not all limited to the Quest 3. So to keep it simple and so you can skip around in this video, we're going to start with some of our cheaper upgrades and work our way up to some of the more expensive options. And keep in mind, I'll try to keep all of them linked down below. So one of the best and cheapest upgrades I'm going to recommend to you, I know it's kind of anticlimactic, but I recommend you get a $6 lens cover for your lenses, because if you scratch those things, it is over. Do you know how much it costs to replace lenses on this thing? You might as well get a whole new VR headset, dude. And I don't know about you, but I don't have $500 to $600 laying around somewhere. And following a similar point, I'm going to recommend you get yourself a brand new faceplate, because the stock one that comes with the Quest 3 is absolutely garbage. It's like a car seat is sitting on your face. And, you know, if it's going to sit on my face every day, I'm going to want some cushion.
What did he say?
This being about $15 to $30, depending on which brand you get. And I'll link some of my favorites down below. But personally, I went with the Kiwi V3 leather interface. This is extremely comfortable. And when it's sitting on my face, I don't even notice it. Now, this next one is only for Quest users, whether it's a Quest 2, Quest 3S, or Quest 3. I do recommend you get the Quest 3. That's the best one, obviously, out of all of them, but it is the most pricey option. There is this program called Quest Game Optimizer. Now, they are not sponsoring this video, but it is a $10 program that you download through SideQuest. I don't know if you know what SideQuest is, but I would recommend you watch a video on SideQuest. If you want, I can do a video on that. Just leave a comment down below. SideQuest is a program where you sideload is what it's called, side loading. You just download a bunch of random apps that aren't native to the Quest. So like if you want Discord, for example, you can get Discord on your Quest as a program by downloading it through SideQuest. You do require a computer one time to download SideQuest onto your VR headset, but once it's on your VR headset, you can have SideQuest on there for good, and you can just download stuff that way. But yeah, Quest the Game Optimizer, it makes they have performance profiles and high quality profiles for every single game out there, or almost every single game out there, and it makes your game just look so much better and more crisp and just perform better. It really maximizes your CPU, GPU, all that other cool garbage that's inside the Quest. The Quest has so much power in it, but it's never really maxed out like that. Heads up though, this does drain your battery, so later down the line we're going to talk about a head strap that also comes with a battery, which is very useful if you want like 2 to 3 hours of gameplay. But yeah, overall, very worth it if you ask me. If you really want to push this thing to its max, it's $10. It's called Quest Game Optimizer. Insane. Yeah, I'll link that down below too, okay? And the last two things on our budget tier list are a carrying case and a charging station. Now, a charging station makes sense, obviously speaks for itself. You know, you want to charge your headset and your controllers, and it's useful. But a carrying case I would keep just to honestly, A, for travel, and B, just to have when you're not using it, and when your headset's charged, you want to put it somewhere, store it somewhere. You know, I don't know about you, but where I'm from, there's spiders and centipedes. Now imagine a spider or something crawls in your headset, which is very common. Look this up. People have this happen all the time, and it's terrifying. Never happened to me, but terrifying. Now imagine there's a spider or a centipede in your headset, and you go to put it on without realizing, and then you just see a spider walk across the screen. A real spider in your headset, and it takes a couple seconds to untwist that thing and take it off. Yeah, no, not me. Yeah, that happens so often, and it's so gross. Also, you don't want your pets jumping all over your headset, or your headset falling off your desk, or just any kind of damage. I mean, $500 is not something to take lightly, I feel like. So I would keep your expensive stuff away from harm. Quick exclaimer, I almost forgot. I'd recommend you buy your carrying case after you buy all your other accessories, just so you can make sure you get a carrying case that actually fits your entire setup. Like, because I made this mistake where I bought a case before I ended up getting my new head strap, my new facial interface, and it all makes the headset a little bit more bulkier, a little bit more, maneuverable. And if you have a case that fits just the base Quest 3 or whatever, it doesn't fit like an elite head strap or anything like that. So I would recommend you get all your head, accessories first, like your head straps and stuff, and then get a carrying case that fits your particular setup. And you got to keep everything charged, so a charging station is extremely useful, especially if it comes with rechargeable batteries for the controllers. Because right now, as it stands, the Quest 3 controllers come with AA batteries that you constantly have to be changing out, and you don't want to be dealing with that. So rechargeable batteries and a charging station, really cool charging dock type of thing. But make sure you keep it out of an area where there's a lot of dust. or constantly for dusting it or whatever, because, grubs. I still question why Meta put regular AA batteries in their controllers instead of like lithium batteries that are rechargeable like everyone else. I mean, what are we playing on the Xbox 360 or whatever? Like, this is 2025. Who the hell uses batteries anymore? I haven't used a battery in 45 years. I don't know, dude. Like, what? Okay, finally. Now we're on to the good stuff. An elite head strap. And I'm not talking about the junk one that Meta sells. I'm talking about the Kiwi K4 clamshell design head strap. Partnered with that V3 leather interface that I talked about. Kiwi just makes the best product, but I'm not sponsored by them, so I will also recommend the Bobo VR E3 Halo head strap. It's got a cool flip-up design, so when you're taking the headset off real quick just to talk to your wife or whatever the case. That's very cool as well, but I don't know, something about this one, it comes with like a rechargeable battery. It's just really cool. I just much more prefer this one. I did a ton of research, and the Bubble VR is more for like, chill gaming, and this is more for like intense, shooter games like I play, like, Call of Duty or whatever. So this is just my, current partnership, I guess. Current, like, build, I guess is the word I'm looking for, with a V3 leather interface and the K4 clamshell. Kiwi, pretty cool. Now these are anywhere from $40 to $80. I really do recommend you go more towards the $80 price range and get one with a built-in battery life extender, simply because it's way more useful, especially if you're using Quest Game Optimizer, which drains your battery, but it's well worth it. So naturally, with the regular Quest 3, if you're on a full charge, you get about 2 hours of gameplay. With the battery life extender and Quest Game Optimizer, you still get about 3 hours of gameplay, which is really useful. And I mean, who's playing more than 3 hours at a time? Like, you need to take a break, get some lunch, go eat some food, go touch grass. I don't know, figure it out. I hope that helps with your decision, but please stay away from Meta's junk accessories. They're so cheap, they're trash, they're made so poorly, and they charge so much for them. You can buy so many better options on Amazon or Etsy or whatever the case. Please just stay away from their junk. Trust me, you'll thank me later. Gun stocks, do we need them? I mean, maybe. It depends on really what you're playing. If you're playing games like Breachers, which is like Rainbow Six Siege in VR, they don't have physical gun stock calibration, so it's not really useful. But if you're playing Pavlov or Contractors, which is like Call of Duty basically, well, it is Call of Duty pretty much. It works really well. They have physical gun stock calibration built into the game, so you can change the angle and the pitch and all that kind of stuff. It's very useful. Helps steady your aim. It goes against recoil, that kind of thing. I mean, it depends on what kind of gamer you are. I get really mad when my teammates suck. I'm very intense, and I really try extremely hard, which good thing or bad thing, but this really helps. It makes me like the best player on the team. It just does. It takes some time getting used to, like a week or so, but it's really good. Now, I do recommend you don't spend more than, this is $39.99, it's C-Grip VR, it's 3D printed plastic, but it works great. I don't recommend you spend more than $40, $50 on a gun stock, because I only play first-person shooters. I don't really play other VR games. I play the Batman game that came with the Quest 3, but like that's cool and all, but this is mainly what I use. I mean, I would never buy things like the wheeled VR or whatever it's called, the $120, like paying $120 for a piece of plastic. I refuse. And I really believe in you guys to not be idiots. I mean, it's just stupid. Why, like, even if you only play VR games like that are shooters, VR shooters, why would you ever take the risk of a game, first off, not having physical gun stock calibration, so this becomes useless, just a piece of plastic, and B, there's just so much money. Like, you're paying a fifth of what your headset is worth for a piece of plastic that you're going to use for certain games occasionally and never again. So yeah, the C-Grip VR, I'll link this down below. This is extremely useful. These make a huge difference, and like I said, don't buy the ones that vibrate or whatever. They're like $120. That's so stupid. The piece of plastic that's $30, it's great. C-Grip VR, I'll link it down below. $39.99, game changing, absolutely awesome. Now these can range anywhere from my pick, the C-Grip VR at $39.99, or the One Stock or the Tomahawk for close to $200. Why would you pay more than a quarter of your VR headset? You can buy 3 gun stocks for the price of another VR headset. You can get 2 VR headsets, one for you and one for your boys. Like, why would you buy a gun stock for $200? Who is buying this kind of stuff? Why do these companies think they can get away with this kind of garbage? It doesn't make any sense to me. Don't buy this junk, please. $40, C-Grip VR. I'm not sponsored, but this is just gold. I'm telling you, it's the gold standard. No more than $40, please. That's so stupid. Okay, I've calmed down a little bit, but do your research for sure. Pros, cons, and if you want, I'll do a video on which gun stock is the best. I'll buy all the crazy expensive ones and I'll do a review for you, but you already know my answer. Review or no review. Okay, I need to stop. I'm gonna give myself an aneurysm, please. Oh my God, okay, moving on. Glasses wearers, this one's for you. VR Wave, not sponsoring this video, by the way. They make prescription lenses that are magnetic and slap right onto your Quest 3, and they work wonders. Wearing glasses in your VR headset is a big no-no. I mean, look at my glasses, they don't even fit in there first off, but if your glasses do fit in there, you can scratch your lenses, and like I said earlier, no, you're going to spend so much money repairing that, you might as well buy a new headset, which I don't just have money to throw around like that. So never wear your glasses in your VR headset. Buy prescription lenses. They work great, or get LASIK. But, you know, obviously prescription lenses are cheaper. I paid about $150 for mine. My vision is pretty bad. But, you know, you scratch your lenses, it's over, done. No more VR fun, no money in the toilet. That being said, depending on your prescription, you know, some are $100, some are $150, some are $200, some are $50. You can even get like basic ones that are just for blue light, even if you have perfect vision 20/20 or whatever. They're like blue light or whatever, and they're supposed to really help with your eyes, so your vision doesn't get bad, and you can actually enjoy your VR headset without your parents being like, "Oh my God, your vision's gonna go so bad." You don't have to deal with that headache anymore. See, I just saved you a headache. You're welcome. Now for the Quest 3, not for the 3S, because that's a little bit different. If you did get that external head strap with the external battery or whatever, it takes up that USB-C slot to charge it. That leaves you with a 3.5mm on the right side for headphones. So one of the most disappointing things I found out when I got my Quest 3, unfortunately, you can't use that 3.5mm slot for like Turtle Beaches with like a microphone, only for headphones. Like you can use, it's good for noise canceling headphones and stuff, but you cannot use an external microphone unless you use that USB-C slot that's already using by the, external charger and stuff. So you're kind of SOH, whatever, I guess. It's just a little bit disappointing. Hopefully for the Quest 4, they fix that and either give you a second slot or just make it so that 3.5mm is adaptable for headphones and for a microphone, but we'll see how far technology gets in a couple of years. So like I said, the Quest 3's microphone is pretty mid. It's all right. It's not bad, but if you want to get a good pair of headphones for noise canceling and stuff that don't have a microphone, I recommend the Sony WH-1000 XM5s or something like that. I think they're called. These ones right here. I've been using these for years and years and years with PC gaming, and I used them on PlayStation for a while and stuff like that. They're very cool, very good. I even use them to record music occasionally if you guys, keep track of my music and things like that. I haven't posted a song in a while, so I do apologize for that. But, VR is kind of taking on my life for a little bit. But yeah, Sony WH-1000 something garbage, whatever, blah, blah. Look them up. You'll find them. I mean, they're pretty unique. But very good headphones. I've had them for, like 5-something years now, so. The sound quality is just top tier, and it really just drowns out all the background noise and my wife talking and stuff. I just kind of, zone out. I'm in the zone. I'm playing with the boys. So, all right, for you big ballers, time for the pricey stuff. Now, this first one can be used with any VR headset if you have a ton of money to blow, which I personally do not. I would recommend you spend it on an Infinitec, which is the Omni treadmill that you see in Ready Player One, the greatest treadmill of all time. But unfortunately, they don't have consumer models for that yet. I'm sure if you have enough money, you can get someone to make one for you, whatever, but besides the point. Your best bet would be something like the Catwalk C2, which is like a slippery, slidey kind of, not a treadmill, but it's like a little surface that you put special shoes on and stuff. You strap yourself in. It's at a whopping price point of about $1,000, double the price. You can get 2 Quest 3s for that price. But, it seems very cool, but for someone like me who can barely get a Quest 3 as it is, especially with all the accessories and junk, the Catwalk just stands out of my current budget. But if you guys want, I can do a review. If you leave some comments, likes, help me get some, help me get some clout. Maybe I'll do a review on one. Maybe I'll buy one and my wife will hate me and I'll rack up a credit card bill and I'll just go into debt and live under a bridge. Or you guys can like this video and subscribe. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right, moving on. Definitely very cool, but that whole sliding aspect of it, I'm not too sure. I mean, it's not really walking or running, you're just sliding around on a pad. But it also does have that cool chair feature where you can sit for like when you get into a game or in a car or whatever, you're in a game and you sit into a car, you can sit in real life. So I guess it adds that extra layer of immersion. So if you get into a vehicle mid-game, you can sit down and you can, like all that kind of cool stuff. But I mean, for $1,000, I can't see it. I'm sorry, it doesn't seem like that monumental to me, I guess. So I don't know if I consider the next topic actually accessories, but you do kind of need them, I feel like, right? I mean, you need some games with your Quest. So here are some honorable mentions. Most VR games are going to be like $25, $20, $19.99, $30, maybe $40 if you buy something crazy. But I would really recommend you play, if you like first-person shooters at least, Breachers, which is Rainbow Six Siege but on VR, Contractors, which is Call of Duty on VR, Pavlov, which is more like CSGO on VR, You know, there's just that kind of stuff. Just do some research. I mean, if you want, I can do a whole video on the best games I would recommend. You know, the Batman Arkham game that comes with the Quest 3 is absolutely insane. It's like playing an Arkham game like Arkham City or Arkham Asylum, kind of. It's more like Arkham Asylum because it's a smaller-ish map, but very cool. You can like the grapple gun, the combat's extremely fun. I mean, you do have to stand and play, obviously, because you're punching and stuff. You're working up a sweat. Like, I was drenched in sweat by the end of this game. I beat the game in the last 3 days, I think, which got to be like a world record somewhere, probably. But yeah, absolutely insane. It's really cool. I would recommend you give Batman Arkham Shadow a try. Contractors is my favorite shooter game. Breachers is a close second. And I haven't really gotten into many crazy games yet, but look into Horizon Worlds. It's pretty all right. I mean, it's just a place where you can hang out with all your friends and stuff and play catch and things like that. So give it a try. But if you want a full in-depth video, just leave a comment down below. I got you. And on that note, I tried to be quick, but I hope you folks enjoyed my list of must-have VR accessories. Leave a comment down below on what you want to see next. Subscribe, and I'll do more videos just like this. As always, I'm Mars. See you guys next time.